I'd like to talk about an insight that I have had strike me particularly hard, and it is profound input equals profound output. Recently, I've finally opened up my book on metaphysics. One of the books I want to read around metaphysics, and this is metaphysics and epistemology, the study of reality and the study of mind and knowledge and all that stuff. These are things that deeply interest me, and the insights from these kind of that you get like in metaphysics and epistemology completely radically change your entire trajectory of your life, because it changes your fundamental perception of reality itself. When you can change your fundamental perception of reality itself, then you're going to be on a way fucking different path in life. Now, a little bit of a tangent, but I wanted to throw that in there. It has recently become very apparent that I need to put a lot more focus on myself, a lot more stress on myself to really focus on studying consciousness, the mind, metaphysics, epistemology, how knowledge works, how language works, how beliefs work. I really need to study much more seriously, much more deeper on this. I've been, in a way, procrastinating on reading these books, when these could be some of the most life-changing, if the insights penetrate, of course, because these are no trivial insights. But, like, for example, studying the mind, right? That's a mechanism that's giving you like fucking beyond thousands of thoughts per day. If you can understand how that thing works, right? That'd be great to know. That would be a very useful tool if you can shape it in a direction to your advantage. And that comes really to my topic, where your mind is an echo chamber. And your mind will just bounce around ideas and thoughts that you feed it. It's the whole idea, it's not very new. Garbage in, garbage out, right? Watch what you consume. But in this talk, I want to just really, really focus on like putting an underline, like a seriousness around really creating this massive reservoir of ideas for yourself, such that you can have very intelligent thought, such that you can solve problems in a very intelligent manner, such that you can solve problems that that you wouldn't have been able to solve, or at least as quickly. There's ways of thinking and models of thinking that you currently do not possess that would massively improve how you live your entire life. The camera's lagging a bit. What is that for you, right? You don't know until you feed yourself constant new high quality sources of information. I remember binging the entire channel of actualize.org and just noticing of how much my mind shifted, how much my perception of reality shifted, and how much clearer my perception of reality has become just by introducing my mind to these ideas, let alone like actually like studying them and like honing in on them and getting every intricate detail. And also, I've done a very small amount of contemplation. I want to do more. And I realized that just with the little contemplation that I've done, if you have like a real solid 5-hour session, you can come out of that session with some killer insights that will change how you behave. And very specifically, I remember doing the exercise given on how ideology works from actualize.org. And I remember how I really deconstructed my ideology around self-improvement. Where I took this very preachy attitude. Now, of course, I'm preaching now, but it was in a way that was very unhealthy. This is something where I put up on a channel. If someone wants to watch it, they do. And if they don't, they don't. And I enjoy expanding on these ideas. It helps me out. Really, fundamentally, this is what that channel is about. It helps me out. These are videos I'm creating for myself. But going back to that example, after I did that contemplation, I corrected something in my mind where, that was something that was causing me a lot of stress, because I was trying to change the world. Being a fool, not realizing that people are only going to create the change that they're ready for. And they're only going to create the change that they want to create. You can't force it onto other people. Which is why life coaching is such an interesting profession, because you're not teaching people, really. Coaching is just walking someone through a contemplation session such that they can come to their answer themselves. Because we will only believe our own answers because those are the answers that are going to give us the resolve to actually go through the emotionally difficult action to get, to do whatever we got to be doing. We need to have that resolve ourselves. Anyways, coming back to the main topic here. Garbage in, garbage out, high quality in, high quality out. What are you feeding your mind? What if you fed your mind with profound ideas on a routinely basis? I always notice, especially when I'm interfacing with the world or I'm creating content, I will almost always bring in insights that I get from the books I'm reading, from the lectures that I'm studying, or for whatever I'm contemplating, whatever new insights I'm getting. That's infecting what you see here. That's infecting all my work and all my interactions with people, and it's infecting how I perceive reality and how much I enjoy life. But you first have to build this massive scaffolding by feeding yourself all this information. A large amount of self-improvement is just thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of reading the right books. People are like, self-improvement ruined me or whatever, because they just did all the reading but none of the action. But if you haven't fully mastered your life, foregoing the seeking of high quality sources would be a mistake. And for me, this is becoming very apparent, where I need to vigorously introduce new ideas into my mind, specifically around metaphysics and how the mind works and how knowledge works. We do not have the ability to exert our will on the world if we don't know what tools we have to use. How are you going to build a house if you don't know what tools to use? If you don't even know what tools exist out there? How are you going to be able to conquer your goals if you don't even know what mental tools are there? What ideas are there? What belief systems are there? What communities are there? This comes from massive research. You know, and also what you're feeding your mind is, how are you feeding your mind in terms of like your self-efficacy, your self-worth, otherwise known as your self-esteem? What are you telling yourself? Are you creating direct experiences of an individual that holds their word? Because our identity is only built on direct experience. If you can't build that experience of you actually holding your word, you're fucked. You're never going to be able to embody the identity of the individual that actually creates a result. Have you listened to David Goggins? If you've ever listened to him, you would have experienced that that profound attitude, those profound insights around how you approach adversity and actually seeing it as a challenge. I remember reading the book The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, a book about Stoicism. And that completely changed my life and my attitude of how I approached problems. That was a mental toolbox that I picked up, but that would have never have happened if I wasn't committed to constantly feeding myself information to have these high quality thoughts to begin with. Think of feeding your mind with these ideas as constantly adding updates to the software of your mind. And to put this in an even bigger perspective, how do you think you would live? How happy do you think you'll be? How productive? How rich? What kind of results do you think you'll have? And how much more of an advantage do you think you would operate from if you were operating from like 500 like well-selected high quality books for exactly what the fuck you need in your life versus 0 or 10 or 20? Obviously, the individual that can cognize and synthesize and put into action the best of the best ideas from the 500 books, that individual is going to become is going to be at such a higher advantage. And they're going to be happier. They're going to be able to deal with life's problems more. So this is a reminder to buckle down and really give yourself the courage to read some more, study more. You know, life's coming, and you gotta be prepared. And your greatest success is when opportunity meets preparation. So, read high quality shit. Embody it. Stop looking at low quality shit. For example, like black pill ideology or whatever. Bullshit. And yeah. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one.